Dad put a camera in his daughter's hair after she suddenly hated school, but what it recorded shocked him. A little girl suddenly began begging her parents not to send her to school. Normally, she would come home smiling, full of stories and excitement. But after they transferred her to a new school, Spring Hill, everything changed. She became quiet, gave one-word answers, and eventually started begging to stay home. The school told them she just needed time to adjust to her new teacher, Mrs. Duncan, who had a loud voice that startled the kids. But Thomas and his wife didn't believe it. Every day, their daughter seemed more withdrawn, her joy disappearing. Finally, Thomas decided to take matters into his own hands. One morning, before school, he hid a small recording device in her hair under a white bow. His daughter didn't know. He didn't want her to worry more. That afternoon, as soon as she came home, he removed the device and played the recording. What they heard was shocking. At first, they heard the normal sounds of a classroom, kids talking, chairs moving. But soon, a loud, sharp voice cut through the noise. It was Mrs. Duncan. She was not just raising her voice to get attention, she was yelling. She told the children they were too slow and not smart enough. At one point, she told a child, "Are you deaf?" Another time, she snapped, "Zip it." That's common sense. Her tone was full of anger. Thomas felt his stomach turn. His wife covered her mouth in shock. They finally understood why their daughter's smile had disappeared. This was not about adjusting to a new school. Their little girl had been sitting in fear every single day. The next morning, Thomas called the police to ask what he could do. The officer told him that recording inside the classroom could be a problem because of school rules. Still, Thomas believed they had to try. He and his wife went straight to the school board with the recording. They explained everything and played the audio, but the board refused to accept it, saying it went against policy. They offered a small solution: move their daughter to another class. Thomas and his wife were glad she would be safe, but they were angry that Mrs. Duncan would still be teaching other kids. They decided not to stop there. That same day, they started a petition to have the teacher removed from the classroom. They shared their story with other parents. Within days, more than 2,000 people signed it. Many parents admitted their own children had complained about the teacher before. When the board met again, they said Mrs. Duncan would not be fired. She would only receive a warning to lower her voice and watch her tone. Thomas and his wife were disappointed, but they knew their main goal had been met. Their daughter would not have to face her again. The change was instant. Their daughter came home from her new class smiling. She began telling them stories again. Her laughter returned. Dinner time was once more filled with joy. For Thomas and his wife, this was a hard lesson about speaking up. They learned that even if the system doesn't always give full justice, parents must fight for their children. And in the end, their daughter's happiness was worth every step they took.